Welcome to BookBuzz Reviews and Summaries. What if the key to success, happiness, and lasting relationships isn't IQ, talent, or your resume, but something far more personal, far more powerful, and until recently, vastly underestimated? Imagine walking into a room and instantly sensing tension before a single word is spoken. Picture navigating conflict not with anger or silence, but with calm confidence. Envision leading a team not with authority alone, but with understanding, empathy, and a magnetic sense of self-awareness. These aren't just soft skills. These are superpowers in disguise, and they all come from one overlooked yet life-changing trait: emotional intelligence. In a world that glorifies hustle and hard skills, we often forget that our emotions drive everything: how we lead, how we love, how we decide, and how we rise after falling. Yet while our IQ may be fixed, our EQ is not. It can grow, it can be sharpened, and when it does, the results are nothing short of extraordinary. This is not another book about feelings. It's a science-backed, results-driven guide to mastering the very core of who you are and how you impact those around you. Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, trying to improve your relationships, or simply looking to understand yourself better, what you're about to discover will challenge how you think, react, and lead forever, because in today's world, it's not the smartest person in the room who wins. It's the one who knows how to stay smart when emotions run high. Welcome to Emotional Intelligence 2.0, where the real work begins not with your mind, but with your heart. Part 1. The Hidden Power Within. Understanding the Foundation of Emotional Intelligence. Chapter 1. The Real Secret to Personal and Professional Success. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to glide through conflict with grace, when others over effortlessly and lead teams to victory, while others, with the same IQ, flounder in relationships or burn out under pressure? According to Travis Bradberry and Jean Greaves, the answer lies not in raw brain power or technical skills, but in a deeper, often overlooked ability: emotional intelligence, or EQ. While IQ is fixed, a genetic gift or curse depending on how you see it, EQ is something you can learn, practice, and master. And the best part, developing it leads to higher job performance, better health, stronger relationships, and a deeper sense of life satisfaction. The authors open with a bold claim backed by their research. Emotional intelligence is the single biggest predictor of performance in the workplace, and it's responsible for 58% of success in all types of jobs. So, what exactly is emotional intelligence? Chapter 2. The Anatomy of EQ, the 4 core skills. Think of emotional intelligence as a 4-part muscle group, all interrelated, but each serving a distinct function. 1. Self-awareness, your ability to accurately perceive your emotions in the moment and understand your tendencies across situations. This is the foundation. Without it, the rest falters. 2. Self-management. Once you recognize what you're feeling, can you manage it? Can you stay cool under pressure, bounce back from setbacks, and act intentionally rather than react impulsively? 3. Social awareness. This is where empathy lives. It's your ability to pick up on the emotions of others, read social cues, and understand dynamics in real time. 4. Relationship management. Combining the other 3, this is your ability to inspire, influence, collaborate, and resolve conflict. Each of these categories contains skills that can be strengthened with practice. The beauty: you don't need to master all 4 at once. Improving just one can transform how you experience the world. Chapter 3. Why We Sabotage Ourselves, the Emotional Hijack. Ever said something in anger and regretted it, or froze up when you needed to step up? This is the emotional hijack at work, a key concept the book explores. It's the moment your amygdala, the brain's emotional center, overrides your logical thinking. It happens in a flash. You're triggered, flooded, and reacting before you even know what hit you. Bradberry and Greaves break this down in relatable terms. The brain processes emotional input faster than rational input. So, if we're not aware and intentional, emotions drive the bus, often right off a cliff. They argue that without EQ, you're at the mercy of these hijacks, but with EQ, you can pause, recognize what's happening, and choose your response. That's real power. Chapter 4. the myth of talent and the truth of practice. There's a pervasive myth that charisma, leadership, and emotional control are traits you either have or don't. The book dismantles that. EQ isn't about being extroverted or naturally charming. It's about habits, the kind you can build. In fact, one of the strengths of Emotional Intelligence 2.0 is that it doesn't just explain the science. It gives you tools, real, actionable strategies. For example, keep a daily journal to reflect on emotional triggers. Practice the pause and label technique when strong emotions arise. Make a habit of asking clarifying questions to better understand others. The authors emphasize that small, consistent action beats grand but inconsistent effort, like going to the gym. Emotional intelligence is built through reps. Part 2. Know Thyself. The Power of Self-Awareness. Chapter 5. Why Self-Awareness is the Cornerstone of Everything. If Part 1 introduced us to the world of emotional intelligence, its 4 core skills, and the myth of talent, Part 2 is where we dig in deep. And where do we begin? At the foundation. Self-awareness isn't just some fluffy concept reserved for therapists or monks. According to the authors, it's the bedrock of emotional intelligence. Without it, every other skill, from managing your emotions to navigating relationships, is built on shaky ground. It's your internal GPS. If it's not working, you're lost, no matter how powerful the car or how clear the destination. In short, you can't manage what you don't recognize. Chapter 6. The mirror is not enough. Seeing yourself clearly. So, what does true self-awareness actually look like? It's more than just knowing, I'm a morning person, or I get cranky when I'm hungry. Real self-awareness means being able to observe yourself in the moment, especially when emotions rise. The book offers an example. You're in a meeting and someone interrupts you. A flash of irritation shows up. Do you snap, shut down, or do you notice that flash, pause, and choose your response? That moment of recognition, the gap between trigger and response, is where emotional intelligence lives. Bradberry and Greaves suggest practical strategies to sharpen this inner lens. Pay attention to your emotional wake. How do people react after you speak? What vibe do you leave behind? Label your emotions accurately. Don't just say, I feel bad. Is it frustration, embarrassment, guilt? Precision increases awareness. Check in regularly. Use breaks, commutes, or journaling as checkpoints to ask, what am I feeling right now and why? You become your own emotional scientist, curious, honest, and non-judgmental. Chapter 7. Triggers, Patterns, and Emotional Loops. We all have emotional hot buttons, things that set us off faster than we'd like. Maybe it's being ignored, maybe it's feeling out of control, or unfairness. These patterns are learned, often early in life, and they run in loops until we become conscious of them. Self-awareness means learning your patterns. Ask yourself, what kind of situations reliably stress me out? What types of people tend to drain me? When I lose my temper, what usually caused it? The authors recommend creating a trigger map, a simple tool where you jot down situations that consistently stir emotion and how you typically respond. This isn't to shame yourself, it's to spot the patterns and rewrite the script, because when you see it, you can stop it or at least soften it. Chapter 8. The Role of Feedback. The Truth You Don't Want But Need. Here's where it gets uncomfortable and powerful. One of the most underrated tools for self-awareness. Feedback, yes, it can sting, but it's often the mirror we most need to see ourselves clearly. Bradberry and Greaves advocate creating a personal feedback loop. That means asking for input from trusted colleagues, friends, or partners, listening without defensiveness, reflecting on it without rushing to justify. They suggest a simple question. What's one thing I do that you think holds me back? It's bold, but the answers might change your life. Feedback is the bridge between how we see ourselves and how the world sees us. Closing that gap is how self-awareness deepens and how transformation begins. Part 3. Master Your Reactions. The Art of Self-Management. Chapter 9. From Awareness to Control. Turning Insight into Power. If Part 2 helped you see yourself more clearly by developing self-awareness, Part 3 is where we take that clarity and put it to work. Now we move into the second core skill of emotional intelligence, self-management. If self-awareness is about recognizing your emotions, Self-management is about regulating them, especially when the pressure's on. This is the battlefield. This is where emotional intelligence is tested in the heat of the moment. The authors define self-management as your ability to use your emotions to stay flexible and direct your behavior positively. That means managing your impulses, staying cool, thinking clearly, and choosing productive responses. Even when you feel like screaming, shutting down, or storming out, it's not about suppression, it's about mastery. Chapter 10. The Pause That Changes Everything. Picture this. You're furious, a teammate dropped the ball. Again, you want to fire off that email in all caps. This is the moment Bradberry and Greaves call the opportunity gap. It's the space between stimulus and response, the brief pause that determines everything. High EQ individuals master the pause. They take a breath, they ask, "What outcome do I want from this moment?" And then they respond with intention, not emotion. One of the book's strongest practical tools is simple, but powerful. Breathe, label, choose. Breathe to reset your nervous system. Label the emotion. I'm angry because I feel let down. Choose a response, not a reaction. This tiny habit, repeated over time, rewires your brain and puts you back in the driver's seat. Chapter 11. Emotional Agility, Bouncing Back Instead of Breaking Down. Life is unpredictable. Stress is guaranteed. The question is, how do you respond? That's where emotional resilience comes in, and that's a major part of self-management. Bradberry and Greaves emphasize that emotionally intelligent people are adaptive. They don't get stuck in emotional loops. They don't resist change. They pivot. They suggest building emotional agility through positive self-talk, catching and reframing negative thoughts. Instead of "this is a disaster," try "this is tough, but I've handled worse." Sleep, nutrition, and movement. EQ is biological too. A depleted brain is a reactive brain. Reflection, not rumination. Process your feelings, don't drown in them. Write them down, talk them out, learn and move forward. Resilience isn't toughness, it's recovery, it's the speed and grace with which you return to your center. Chapter 12. Goals, Grit, and Emotional Discipline. Let's talk goals. You've probably experienced this. You set a goal, get fired up, make progress. Then life hits, you miss a day, lose motivation, and the goal dies. Self-management bridges the gap between intention and execution. The authors describe emotionally intelligent people as having emotional discipline. They keep their goals in focus even when feelings fluctuate, and they build consistency, not just intensity. Here are some EQ-based strategies they recommend. Visual reminders. Keep your goals visible on your phone, mirror, or workspace. Accountability. Tell someone, let them check in. Pre-commit to your response. Think through challenging scenarios ahead of time. Prepare your response, like scripting your behavior for future stress. Most people plan their careers. Few people plan their emotional habits, but that's where the real success lies. Part 4. EQ in Action, Social Awareness and Relationship Management. Chapter 13. Beyond You, the Magic of Social Awareness. You've tuned into yourself, you've learned to manage your own emotions, but emotional intelligence doesn't stop at the edge of your skin. In this final part of the EQ model, Bradberry and Greaves guide us into the outer world, starting with social awareness. This is your ability to read the room, to pick up on emotional cues, to feel what others are feeling, even if they don't say a word. Socially aware people notice facial expressions, body language, tone of voice, even silence. They're like emotional detectives, picking up the subtle clues that most people miss. One powerful idea from the book: listen with your eyes, because words are just one part of the story. Most communication is nonverbal. The authors offer these strategies to boost social awareness. Observe more than you speak in group settings. Watch people's baseline behavior, then notice deviations. They usually signal emotional shifts. Be present. You can't tune into others if you're distracted by your phone or your thoughts. True connection begins with attention. Chapter 14. Empathy isn't optional anymore. Let's break a myth. Empathy is not weakness. It's data, it's strategy. In fact, in today's world, whether you're a leader, parent, friend, or teammate, empathy is your superpower. Empathy doesn't mean agreeing with everyone. It means understanding where they're coming from and why they feel what they feel. Bradberry and Greaves emphasize that socially aware people ask questions like, what might they be going through? What's the emotion underneath the words? What do they need? Right now, from me. And here's the real win. When people feel seen and heard, they open up, trust grows, conversations go deeper, conflict softens, influence increases. Empathy is what takes emotional intelligence from internal mastery to relational brilliance. Chapter 15, Relationship Management, the EQ Super Skill. Now we arrive at the crown jewel of emotional intelligence, relationship management. This is the ability to use awareness of your own emotions and the emotions of others to manage interactions successfully. It's how you handle conflict with grace, inspire and influence others, collaborate in teams, build loyalty and trust. Relationship management is not about being nice all the time. It's about being real, responsive, and responsible. Bradberry and Greaves offer tactics that can transform how you show up in relationships. Address conflict directly and early, not with blame, but with curiosity and calm. Give feedback with care. Frame it around growth, not judgment. Show appreciation often. Small acknowledgments build powerful emotional bank accounts. Adapt your style. Meet people where they are emotionally, not where you wish they were. Ultimately, relationship management is EQ in motion. It's the application of every other skill. Live in the moment with other human beings. Chapter 16, EQ in Real Life, Career, Leadership, and Love. Emotional intelligence isn't just a theory, it's the behind-the-scenes engine driving success in every area of your life. According to the research in Emotional Intelligence 2.0, people with high EQ earn more on average, up to $29,000 year more, lead more effectively, experience better relationships, recover faster from setbacks because they know how to navigate emotions, theirs and others, and that means better decisions, stronger teams, and deeper connections from job interviews to parenting, from boardrooms to breakups. EQ is the difference between stumbling through and showing up strong. Final words to leave with. The best investment you can make is in understanding yourself, and then using that understanding to connect with others in powerful, positive ways. The more you grow your emotional intelligence, the more you change the world around you. Read the book to learn more. Keep growing. Thanks for listening to Book Buzz reviews and summaries.